All right, let's have a fantastic show. Here we go.
The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Business Channel. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericabusiness.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management. Welcome to Making More Money for You with Magnus Carter. Whether you feel that you don't have enough money to start investing or are under the preconceived notion that investing is only for the wealthy, Magnus and his expert guests are here to help you. Now here is your host, Magnus Carter.
Good day, everybody. This is Magnus Carter. I'm your host today on the Making More Money for You show. I have a special guest with me today, of course, but let's talk about what happened last week. Last week, I had author Jessie Apollo on the show, and she was telling us how we can actually make money by growing our own fruits and vegetables in our backyards or wherever else we have space. Because let's get real, everyone, the prices in the grocery stores are climbing. The shelves are becoming a little bit more bare, and any way we can actually save a couple bucks is well worth trying. So if you get a chance, it's not too late to start growing your own food in your backyard or wherever you have space with urban gardening. And well, that was last week, but this week we have a different topic where we're going to actually talk about how you can take your workout on the road with you and save time and keep as much time that you are away from your day-to-day life with keeping fit and exercising. With me, I have my special guest, Dan Markel from the Pure Blue Group, and also a founding member and investor in Burn 180. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Great to be here.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you're here. This time of year, it's very busy. We're all busy. We're doing road trips. We're planning our vacations. Kids are out of school. Our whole lives are turned upside down because we have no set schedule now. So one of those things that typically falls by the wayside about this is exercising. But before we get into that, can you give us a little bit of background on you and how you came to become part of this company, Burn 180?
Yeah, happy to. And thanks again for the opportunity to be here. So look, been a lifelong entrepreneur since I was a little boy. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I was one of those guys that was having a lemonade stand when I was 5 years old and a paper route and selling candy in junior high to my buddies. So for some reason, that's how it turned out to be. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, but instead I ended up being a serial entrepreneur. And what led me to be part of Burn 180, which I'm so excited to be partnered with my co-founder, Todd Wittenbrock, the inventor, great guy, fantastic idea at this, was my work as being a healthcare entrepreneur. Worked in the entertainment industry for a number of years back in New York City and Los Angeles as an actor, then started doing business with real estate, went on to Morgan Stanley for a couple of years, opened my own firm, and then being in the middle of capital raising and working with investors, I had great opportunity of seeing so many different deals. Being an entrepreneur at heart, I'm always pulling for other fellow entrepreneurs out there and different ideas and how to help people make money and have fun doing it with the people that you work with. So for one reason or another, I wasn't meant to do sales like insurance and so forth, and probably would have done really well, but always had to be working something interesting and innovative. So there couldn't be something more innovative than the product right over my shoulder here, and it's Burn 180. So I was fortunate to meet with one of my other companies that I founded, Rise Medical, the inventor, Todd Wittenbrock, who started working there with me. We developed a great friendship. And one day he walked in my office and said, this was last fall. And he said, can I show you something that I invented? And I said, absolutely. What do you got? And so he walks in, had a box under his arm. He pulls out these exercise bands. And I'd had a little bit of background in exercise, being kind of a fitness geek myself. And during college, I'd gotten certified as a personal trainer. So I had some background and knowledge of how different things work, and also being a passionate golfer. Really fortunate to have worked hard at the game. It's a hard game and gotten down to almost scratch, but working on the different ways your body can improve with flexibility, core strength to be a better golfer. So he pulled this out, and I'm thinking, okay, this is great, exercise bands. Then he pulled this out, and this is the plate. I'm actually going to show you how easy this is and how cool this is. This is the magic here. This is the suction cup, as you can see right there, with a triggering device. We have patent pending elements with this right now. And this is Todd's incredible idea that he had during an aha moment during the pandemic when exercise, and watch how easy this is to put back on. So I apply a little bit of pressure right there. I pump the trigger right there, and it's good to go. It's on that quick, and you saw how easy it is to pull off. And he looked at that being a tinker and inventor himself, and he saw what was happening during the pandemic, that people couldn't go to the gym, they couldn't work out. So exercise bands were kind of blowing up. In fact, my own kids during the pandemic, when they were stuck at our house, they were using exercise bands tied to the fence or garage, whatever it might be. So he saw this and how he might be able to apply a suction cup technology to exercise bands. So now the cool thing about this that is you can take it anywhere with you and use it anywhere. Anyone can do it. You saw how easy it is to put on any fairly non-porous surface, and you're up and running, and you got a workout. So here's the handbands right there. So literally, while I'm on a Zoom call, if I wanted to go off a video, I could be doing a workout here, listening in, and doing what's called, you probably heard it before, HIIT training, high interval intensity training, which is becoming super popular because for a number of different reasons, right? You can do it quickly. You can get a full body workout in about 10 to 15 minutes. You can do a workout on your schedule. And you mentioned travel, which is so key. And I'll get into a little bit what my wife and I are doing shortly on Friday as we drive back to our home state from California to spend the 4th of July in Nebraska, our home state. So yeah, it's just what you'd said. It's so often during summertime travel that the workouts, the fitness kind of take a back seat because everyone's vacationing, running around, not always eating healthy. This device, you can take literally in a bag with a travel bag on a plane with you. You can carry it almost, it fits in the glove compartment of your car, and you can do a workout on your car. If you go to our site, burn180.com, it's an awesome little video. You probably saw it, right? The Jeep.
I did see it on the Jeep. I was waiting for either the glass to come out or the Jeep to fall over. Honestly, I thought it was going to happen.
Okay. So let me address that, because it's one of the first things people always say, it's going to fly up and in my face. No, it will not. First of all, it's tested up to 200 pounds of pressure, and we've been fortunate to have some elite athletes in all sports, like 40 or 50 of them that have tried this unit. They've essentially been our testing and our science background with our doctors that are also invested in the company, give us feedback. And Todd's done a phenomenal job and work with some of the athletes that he has as close friends and myself as well. And the great penetration that we've had in the game of golf as well. Our first ambassador or sponsor would be a great rookie on the PGA Tour by the name of Sahith Theegala. And he was the Haskins Award winner, top NCAA player of the year a couple of years ago at Pepperdine University. He and his trainer, Josh Loya, have been using the bands to increase his distance and increase his flexibility now for about 8 months. So going back to that, now on the mobility of where you can take it anywhere, and also you mentioned, oh, I think it's going to pull the window out of the Jeep, or the Jeep is going to fall over.
I thought, well, we all know how Jeeps can be.
Oh, I know. I'm with you on that. So what's really interesting about the physics of this, it's counterintuitive to what you would think. So look, I can pull on this plate a little bit right now, and you can see it jostle just a little bit. But the physics of this are counterintuitive, that the further I step away with the bands, the more of the force goes into the bands. It's absorbed by the bands. So the plate, the further away you move from it, and the more resistance you provide, it moves less, and it's all absorbed by the bands. So it's counterintuitive what you think. And there's another safety element design, just in case someone doesn't pay attention to the suction part, which is one of the things you have to do, is the suction in place as it should. This fabric area here is flattened out intentionally, so it literally would just fall off the wall. And that only happens if you leave it for 4 or 5 days, forget to kind of put the pressure back in the suction cup. But no, and then I'll show you a couple pictures then to kind of add on of what we're going to be doing on the trip here, if I may, because we're going to stop about every 100 miles on a tour of America. I'm going to show people literally from our car with my wife how you can work out an entire trip where you're normally sitting for hours at a time, eating bad food and not getting on exercise. So take a look at this. If you guys can see this okay. It's pretty cool. We did a live shoot
Yeah.
last weekend with a buddy and my daughter. This is my wife's 66 Mustang, right? She lets me drive it, by the way, twice a year, on Father's Day and on my birthday. That's the only time we get to drive it. Dude, look, all you do is you attach it to your car right there and you can do a full workout. So I'll show you the car that we're going to travel back, because we have two big dogs. There's our black Escalade. So
Okay.
I will pull this out, and for those watching today, I'll go live on Instagram and happy, we can do your show live, right? I'll do
Yeah,
a full
we do.
workout at a truck stop. And this can happen literally in 10 minutes, where I can do a full body workout, which is one of the great things about the device. Literally any exercise that you can imagine, you can do the device. And I just happen to randomly place it on the wall right there at eye level, right? I can put it up 5 feet, so I can pull down vertically. I can put it down low, right? So we have this in our package, ankle straps. So phenomenal workouts can be done, and all this can be done really quickly. So there is no excuse for someone, I just don't have time. I'm traveling. I don't have time to work out. There's no excuse not to be working out with this one, anywhere, anytime. So I could keep going on, but fire any questions you have.
Oh, I have lots of questions. We covered a lot of information. Let's back up a little bit here. So this invention actually took place during the 2020 era, where everybody was locked down. Everybody had, we didn't have anything. So how did this invention come to be? By just grabbing something that I know Todd's seen a bunch of people using bands. I use resistance bands all the time because I'm not a fan of free weights. I don't want to spend $30 for a $25 weight.
Yeah.
So, and also with them laying around, you're bound to trip on them and fall and all that fun stuff. So I'm not a fan of that at all. But how did the intuition and ingenuity come into by taking and watching someone do this? Especially athletes. We've seen athletes train all the time around the world, and they're always using these resistance bands. How is it that none of those companies or professionals came up with this type of design?
Great question, right? And what I call it is it's that aha moment when we all see as the general public, how did I not think of that? And to Todd's credit, that's what he saw. He saw a couple images. One was at Home Depot of these large carts being utilized, or big plates of glass being suction cupped, right? Utilizing suction cup technology. And then he also saw a cool image of people training on a bike up against a wall with 4 suction cups. So they're literally sitting up like this on the wall. And he looked at that and he had his aha moment. Why couldn't I take a suction cup? Because everyone's using bands during the pandemic and attach them, right? With carabiners, common stuff right there, right?
Okay.
Create a cool plate. And we worked on a design to refine that since we started the company. And there's your workout. And it all came together very quickly on that level. And it really was to credit him as an inventor. He's a great guy. He's become a dear friend. And like all inventors and I wish I was better at inventing stuff too. We all do. One of the things that I think Todd has this quality. It's a great quality that's indicative of the product that we've been really lucky. There's a cool factor to this product. People get it immediately. And it's how the hell, like what you're saying, how the heck did you come up with that? But I think one of the elements of a great inventor is to be a tinkerer. And that is Todd. He will sit, where do you come up with stuff? And he sits, even on Zoom calls we share together, sitting at his living room table and watching ESPN in the background, but he's tinkering stuff. He's got a great company with in the fly fishing industry as well. So I think having that type of profile, when you have the tinker element of being an inventor, really helped him have that aha moment and put that together for, I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid here. I'll admit that, right? But listen, I think this device will revolutionize the exercise industry for a number of different reasons. First of all, one of the things I love about your show, we talked about this before we got on air, was how to save money, how to invest. Right. So if you look at exercise equipment out there as a whole, it's most of the time really expensive, especially if you're getting into the complicated apparatuses that are put on a wall. You've got to get the hand over. You go to the big advertising campaigns of Tonal with LeBron James and Serena Williams. Great athletes. I admire them.
Right.
But that's $3,000 or $4,000, right? And you can't carry it with you. You take this unit with you in a bag wherever you go, on a trip, while you're traveling, in your office, literally wherever you can imagine. For $299, you can do all of those identical workouts that you would pay and to be able to do on a tonal or a mirror device or Peloton, it's a great device, but those are all really costly. And even
And
you have
space. Don't forget about the space, Mark. Dan, I'm sorry.
it really is. And one of the things that, like I like TRX bands, those are the black and white bands, and now they're officially, I guess, a competitor. But one of the challenges with that is, you've got to get your handyman over to then find the studs in the wall, and you've got to put it just right, and it stays in that static position.
Right.
I can take this anywhere with me. And, again, just to show you, it's off. Put it back on.
And for everybody out there in the world, the videos of this will be on my YouTube channel, so you can actually see how this is actually working. We're going over a lot of demonstrations and whatnot, being on the radio and whatnot. You can imagine it like we're back in the 1950s and whatnot, how we're describing the details of this. But to actually see this in action, we can actually go to burn180.com, or you can actually go into YouTube and look for Magnus Carter. And I will definitely have this video uploaded so we can go over all of this in detail.
Great. Yeah. So I can add things that we're excited about given the time here. One of the things that we're working with right now is one of the top orthopedic groups in Vail, Colorado. Okay. And super excited, Todd and I, are to introduce this to the rehab and medical community. Think of all of the time, just the time and effort to go to physical therapy, whether it's after knee surgery, shoulder surgery, back surgery, whatever it might be. We are working some of the top orthopedic surgeons in the world, and we brought it to them and did a demo. They absolutely loved it because of the universality of it. And that, again, goes back to my mantra, what I've been saying. You can take it anywhere with you. You can do any exercise you can imagine. And then one of the things that's pretty cool that we're talking to them about, we've got a lot of design and research to do, and that is, if you look at the diameter of the cup there, we can make the diameter of the cup smaller, so less resistance. So if it's a shoulder rehab that requires very, easy weights but repeated motions, we make this smaller, and then so you can have 5 and 10 pound resistance on very small areas. So if someone's got, for example, and they're boring to do. So imagine if you go, just think of the physical therapy market, the hurdles that you've got to get in your car. You got to book the appointment. You've got to sign in. And most of those people, and I've been an athlete in my life. I've fortunately, had several surgeries. I've got a knee replacement. I had 2 back surgeries. I had elbow surgery, but all of those required rehab. So with our device, you take your rehab and you take it home with you. And all those exercises that can be shown in an illustration from either the physical therapist or the trainer, you can put together all those different exercises within your home. And if you're recovering in bed, you can literally do it in bed. I'll give you a great example of one that I use for mid 50s, right? For my flexibility. How common are back issues, tight backs, back pain, and so forth. So I'm really fortunate to have had 2 successful back surgeries, both discectomies where there was herniation with the disc, brutal pain. Both times successful, but I had to go through the rehab to do that. So one of the things that's really helped me, 2 different things, Pilates and yoga.
Yes.
Both, right? They both work on
definitely.
Both work on Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yes, definitely. I can attest to yoga and Pilates. Yoga is definitely the devil, though, just from the pain aspect of it, because we're so used to actually being told that we got to do weight training and resistance training and cardio, but we never focus on the flexibility aspect of it. Yeah. And once you start doing yoga and using muscles that you don't think are there but are really there and don't want to move anymore, yeah, that's it's an eye opener,
isn't it? Right. So again, older than you, I started doing yoga. My wife got me into it about 20 years ago. I'm not religious about it, but I see its benefits. That's one of the things, how it translates to this device. What I was going to mention was you can practice yoga with resistance with our bands. And one of the things I know, I'm one of those guys, we're not as flexible. Most guys are not as flexible as women. But what the bands allow you to do, and I always bring up this example, it allows you to get the yoga positions with almost having the element of a trainer there balancing you, but also like yoga, getting in these moves that require extension to really loosen up the muscles and bring blood flow. The damn unit helps you do that. So you essentially have a yoga instructor sitting with you. So like For example, you get into the warrior position with the long extended arm there.
Mhm.
By having the bands on one side, putting the resistance on your body, you get into positions by yourself that you can hold, all while engaging your core and balance. That increases your flexibility. And it's different than kind of yoga's tough, right? It's kind of boring unless you get into spiritual element, which is, you know, really fantastic to do if we can do that. But having an active involvement with the bands and those type of moves and stretches and exercises are fantastic. And the exact same thing of what I'm saying right now applies to the great exercise of Pilates. Pilates, you need a machine and apparatus that's kind of complicated. It's wonderful, awesome. I've done it before, but you can get into all those positions that you would need a Pilates apparatus with our bands. Again, engaging the core and the balance and taking it again, you know, not to be repetitive, but it really is that universal and mobile. You can do it anywhere. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be in a parking lot in a truck stop in Rifle, Colorado here in about 3 workout, and I'll send you video. You can post it on your site.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait to see that, especially when cars are driving by just waving at you and wondering what's he doing.
Right. I did that on the way out to California this spring, and they pulled it out at a truck stop, and all these truck drivers, good guys, just pulling, what the hell is this guy doing? And he's like, I'm gonna get one of those. And I said, it's coming soon. So
Now, I have a question. Since you started working out with this, how has your mentality been as to working out in a normal gym? Have you noticed better gains, better more definition, a better result by using this device than doing a traditional workout?
yeah, for sure. And it's not to discount the other workouts. Free weights are great, but at the same time, as we get older, our body weight should be our main source of resistance. So definition, the repeat of the burn, we call it burn 180. And the reason we titled it that is getting the muscle burn and getting the reps in that you simply can't do if you're trying to bench past 185, 230 pounds, whatever it might be. By utilizing the bands to get that extra definition, the extra endurance of the muscles, and then working in a way you're also putting cardio in, a HIIT type of workout there, benefits have been tremendous. So if you look at the benefits as example of HIIT training, the high intensity interval training, the work that it can do on a cardio level combined with the muscle work, it's really tough to get that when you're doing free weights on an anaerobic level, when you're just doing free weights. Oh, I got to do my cardio. I can do this all at once. So I will, as an example, then I'll give you a great example of one of our early partners, great country music star, Chase Rice. Todd tells a great story of when he first tried the unit. Him and Todd are very close friends. He first tried the unit on his tour bus, right? And he said, Todd, this might be an add-on to my workout, but I got to do free weights. I travel with it. That's just how I work out. And so about, I don't know, it was a couple weeks later, he'd been doing the workout, sent Todd a picture of him just ripped. And he said, dude, I don't even need free weights anymore. I mean, you can try and get him on your show. He's a little harder to get a hold of than I am, but, and it really was, sent a picture of him just being ripped and in great shape. And so that's what the benefit of these types of bands can do. And here's the key thing, because I don't need to get in the car and go to my gym, I'm going to do it more often. It just naturally is there. So I will frequently do, I'm a big sports fan, so I'll throw ESPN on or the business channel on, and I'll do a 5 to 10 minute workout when I normally would just be sitting there watching TV. For me, Max, you're an entrepreneur. We're probably the same profile. I feel it's a real victory when I can kind of kill 3 birds with 1 stone and be multitasking and be super productive on all levels at a low cost. This just fits that perfectly. So the benefits of doing a frequent workout are just tremendous. So the answer to your question, yeah, overwhelming.
Okay, that's wonderful, because I don't like going out to the gym anymore, because the gym scene has completely changed from what I expected gym was, especially with doing martial arts and whatnot, and being toned and being with yoga. I love circuit training. I am 100% circuit training pro and HIIT because of that, because I can get the same amount, I can burn twice as many calories in a half hour and do everything with it. So I am completely on with that. I'm interested. This is intriguing, because if I can get rid of some of my other exercise equipment at a yard sale or something to make some money on it, I would definitely it's definitely worth my while. But unfortunately, you know, Dan, the first half of the show is already gone, and we went through the whole thing. Exactly.
What?
That is amazing with how much we've talked about this and how much exercise actually helps us. It makes us focus better. It makes us feel better about ourselves. We get in better clothes, and it's not something that doesn't need to be neglected when we go somewhere. And that's one thing I do like about this product. And I like that you're actually using it. You're a real person here, not some guy that's already ripped or anything else that's out there telling me I need to buy this program. I need to buy this, or I need to look into this. But for me to actually talk to you as an entrepreneur, a businessman, with how that has day-to-day obligations as well, and you're doing the workouts, there's a lot of people out there that are like this, whether they're working 10-12 hours a day, or they have a family with 2 to 4 kids. They feel that spending time on themselves is not in their cards, and especially going to the gym, and gym memberships are going through the roof again because we're all out. We're doing a lot of things um that are taking our time up, especially trying to get back in the flow of things. But unfortunately, Dan, we need to take a quick break, and we're going to come back in a couple minutes, and we're going to talk about more about the physical well-being of how this product actually changed your life, and where do you see it going from here, and how many other people it can actually help.
Sounds great. Look
So
forward.
everybody, thank you for tuning in. My guest, Dan Marco from Burn 180. We're going to be right back after these couple minutes, and stay tuned.
All right, all clear.
Cool. Excellent.
Good. That come off well.
It came off extremely well. I want to focus a little bit more on how this is going to help with the pocketbook. We've
Yeah.
talked about the physical aspect of it. So now we know we can definitely do it on, anywhere and everywhere, which is amazing. That's what has me
You're gonna
interested.
love it when you get one in your hands. You really will. You
Okay.
really-
Fantastic. I can't wait. Because I'm doing actually Thai kickboxing right now. Hit Thai kickboxing.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow. That's awesome. I got to do that.
Sean Fagan. I'm using the Muay Thai guy.
Okay.
His workouts are ridiculous. He trained in Thailand.
Wow. And it's helping with your flexibility as well. I mean, those are serious workouts. That's great.
Yep. And the longest one is like 40 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's yeah, it's doable.
Exactly. And you pick the workouts you actually want to do. You do the before, the after. It keeps you accountable the whole steps of the way.
That
if
is
you're
awesome.
interested.
Oh, dude, I would let. Does
20
he have
seconds.
like a franchise chain, or how's it work?
It's him. He's actually doing it as a his own promotional class.
10
Okay.
seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay. Cool. Oh, we're back. Wow.
All right, guys, here we go.
Okay.
You're listening to Making More Money for You with Magnus Carter. If you have any questions for Magnus or his guests, join us on the show at 866-472-5789. That's 866-472-5789. Now back to the show. Here is Magnus Carter.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning back into the Making More Money for You show. I'm your host, Magnus Carter. Today, we're talking about taking exercise on the go with you with a new and revolutionary type of workout machine that I have my special guest here from the Pure Blue Group and Burn 180 has actually been able to give us a little bit of a demonstration. The demonstration is kind of hard to see right now on the radio, but I'm going to put the videos up on my YouTube channel so you can actually see it in action. So without further ado, Dan Marco, thank you for coming back. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show with me here.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here. Having fun.
Oh, awesome. Before we broke, we talked about how this device is actually portable and it can be taken anywhere. It can be hooked onto pretty much anything that is solid and not moving. Do not recommend doing this on a moving car, just for safety reasons. even though they could provide more resistance, if you will. But no, safety first on this, guys. So Dan, you've been using this device for a while. From now to when you started, how has it impacted your overall health?
Yeah, on so many levels. So go back to one of the things we talked about earlier before the break. That's HIIT training, HIIT, high intensity interval training.
Mhm.
It allows all that to be taking place in short spurts of time, 10 to 15 minutes, where you literally have a full body workout, all muscle groups in that shorter period of time, wherever you are, in your office, on a wall in your garage, up against your car, as we mentioned, while you're traveling, which we talked about. So, but I'm going to get into a couple specific things that I have really found super beneficial. I'll give you a couple different exercises that I've had. So I've had, I mentioned a couple of surgeries I've had, and it's get older in my mid-50s, flexibility, getting blood flow to our joints. It's just so important. One of my favorite things to do with this is combining stretching with workouts. So one of the positions that I can get in that opens my entire hip area, my lower back area, my shoulders, all at the same time, is a deep squat. So I can get into a deep squat that opens up my hips, breathe into my lower back, and that I would otherwise need a trainer to be sitting there with me, holding my body as I'm extending my arms, deep breathing into my lower back with my knees fully engaged in a deep squat that otherwise would be really difficult for me to get into. That's one. Another great exercise, and honestly, I could list 300 or 400 of these exercises. We'd be on the air for another 2 hours. We can do. Another one is a standing sit-up that engages, and I can do a full body workup because of the design of the product and angles that I can put it at. I can hold the resistance bars, imagine, in my hands, right? And I'm facing away from the wall. I've got them over my head, and I'm doing a full body sit-up where I'm engaging my core, bending forward. I finish with a tricep pull, and I'm already in a squat position. So I've then activated probably 10 different muscle groups with one exercise. You know, exercises as example, like burpees you've heard of, we're jumping up and down and those types of things, or pull-ups. Some of those exercises that are great when we're younger, they're difficult to accomplish as we get a little older, or we're tight, or we're traveling, or we're in a tight spot. You can do all those types of exercise with the bands, resisting on different areas of your bodies, on your body, including, we're really excited, this is the first 5,000 unit drop that we're providing with all of our early buyers that have signed up. We've got a waistband that we're putting in that you can have resistance waistbands. All of these attachments, as I showed earlier, with the carabiners can easily be done, and you can fire away, you know, hundreds of different exercises in a matter of minutes with those types of HIIT training.
That's crazy. You know, you got that full gym. Every time you look around, everybody's trying to get the new exercise device out there. I've had a couple myself. I remember the little rolling wheel for the abs and whatnot, but that was only good for abs.
Right.
And then you had to buy another one for your legs, and then another one for your upper body, and the resistance band. I've broken so many resistance bands I can't even count anymore because of I wore them out, because I you know, I'm very avid about working out one or twice a day, especially, you know, I have my heavy days, my light days. So, you know, to have everything all in one area, one device that I can take up and put down. Even I had the pull-up bars that go in the doorways. Yeah, they didn't work out too well because the pipes bend and all that fun stuff.
And what you're saying is for everybody. Everybody has those issues with the different exercise devices that are out there. So, you know, thanks for you know, mentioning it, because it really is true, the universality of it with all different sports that can be applied in all different age groups, girls, boys, men, women, senior citizens, everybody can use this. So, and being able to attach it in places where, listen, if you've got, let's say that you're getting in the, you know, habit of watching a bunch of TV, we all do it, right? If you've got a unit posted on your wall in your TV room and it's just staring you in the face, knowing that you could be doing a quick 10-minute workout while you're watching TV, that's one of the things that this device, it's like a little mini gym for your entire body that'll travel with you wherever you go.
Okay. That's one of the keys right there, because I like to, I like to be doing other things. TV. I'm not a TV fan per se. I rather have music on.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm more like that because then I can actually focus on what I'm doing instead of staring at a TV or commercial. It's like, oh, I want to buy that, and then I'll go and I'll step away from the workout real quick because that's the kind of mentality I have because I'm trying to focus and and trying to do multiple things as the multitasking, and that's one reason why I don't go to the gym anymore because there's so much going on around. Certain gyms offer pizza, certain gyms offer bagels. I'm not all about that anymore. A gym should be this old dingy thing with fluttering lights, smelling like sweat. You go in, you do your workout, and then you leave. Not these new things out there. So,
to your point, that's one of the things we're super excited about the launch of this product and why we really feel genuinely we're going to revolutionize the fitness and industry and how people work out. So look at what's changed with the pandemic. Some real estate buddies the other day, the amount of people still working from home, it's the vast majority of us, and that's not going to change. That's a trend. Now, I believe that people are adapting their lives, being able to work from home, having a more complete life, being closer to family more often. So I think what's happened in the pandemic, I don't think we're going back to everyone running to the office every day. And that gets to the point you're saying about the gym. How often do we use an excuse? And it happens for all of us, just logistically. I don't have time to go to the gym. I'm not going to make it. Oh, I don't have time to work out today.
Right.
There is literally no excuse someone can make that I can't do this for 10 minutes a day. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You can do this while you're doing other things. So that's the thing that just made it so appealing to me, and the universality that I always talk to our partners, my partner Todd Woodenbrock, with how this works and how people are just loving it.
That's great. Now, with your testing group on this, what was your testing range for this product?
Yeah, this is a great question. I'll give you a couple really great examples. So we first went out to, as I mentioned earlier, went out to professional athletes. Now, watching a guy like we had a great young kid from UCLA, Nate Metters. He's a two-way starter for the Cleveland Browns, just a great kid. We brought him into studio in downtown LA with the idea with our trainer, Josh Loyo. We wanted to see, and he knew a little bit about it, right? We wanted to see what a professional athlete, this is a guy that probably ran a 10,500, probably even faster than that, or like a 4.40, 190 pounds, all muscle, and just could not have been a nicer guy. Watching an elite athlete, and I'll give you an example of what he was doing with this in the shoot there, and you can see actually the video on our site. We put a waistband on him, right? He stepped away from the wall. On the wall, we positioned the unit maybe like 6 feet, so kind of like maybe right below what would have been at his head level there. And he did explosive moves because he's a receiver and a cornerback, right?
Right.
The explosion moves he was doing, literally a 38 vertical, probably even higher than that, doing scissor kicks with resistance and doing reps of 10. Now, unbelievable to watch a professional athlete do that, but watching what can be done with someone that can push the envelope of what exercise you could come up with, we were just blown away. Now, I couldn't do that exercise as a mid-50s guy, but I can do a modified version of that. So one of the things in testing it that we've asked our professional advisory board that we're established with some elite athletes, as I mentioned earlier, we've got really great penetration. We're honored in the PGA Tour. We are getting right now a video sent to us privately that we're able to post soon of different LPGA and PGA Tour players that are using us on a daily level to help with their flexibility, their strength, their distance with their drives, their flexibility, all those different elements. So the feedback collectively we're getting from the professional athletes as our testing group, and as I mentioned earlier, from our orthopedic surgeons that are looking at this for the rehab market, it has been incredibly valuable and impressive. And we've just been taken aback on the different creativity elements that can be put into different workouts, and also the universality of all age groups, men and women, children, senior citizens, as I said earlier, that can use this and literally do any exercise that you can imagine.
With that in mind, would this product actually alleviate the purchase of anything else out there? Well, such as exercise bikes, exercise weight benches, other resistant bands, if you will. Would this actually declutterize people's houses and be able to have one device that will actually give them the full workout.
Yeah, Max, you hit the nail on the head. You name it. And you could do, I mean, we are frequently getting quotes from the athletes that are using it. I don't need anything else, because you can do, as I've mentioned, it's probably getting something like a broken record here, but you can do any exercise you can imagine. You can get a full cardio workout in. You can get a full weight resistant workout. You can utilize it for flexibility. And again, that you can put it anywhere allows one, if you wanted to, you know, and I'm still a believer of doing varying workouts and so forth. But as far as having an apparatus or a unit, one of the things that I want to emphasize too, you mentioned earlier about resistance bands and you break them, the straps, they're fragile, right? After time, they either snap or they break. We're really proud of the components that we've searched worldwide and manufactured, made here in the United States with some of the best quality components. So when you handle one, it's substantial. The plate, heavy, substantial, the carabiners, the stainless steel, the graphite that's involved, the rubber suction cup, the components are really strong. So you're holding something substantial in your hands that you feel really good about, that it's a high quality product as well. But yeah, going back to your point about what you could eliminate, virtually anything that you're utilizing right now, including your, you mentioned something, the cost of gym memberships, depending what city you're in, they could run anywhere from $30 to $100, $250 a month, right? That gets costly, especially we're going into a recession right now where people are looking at every dollar they spend. For $299, our components are a universal exercise equipment that can replace anything. And the cost competition out there products that I mentioned earlier, they're great stuff, they're expensive. They're talking $3,000-$4,000 investment in a unit and an apparatus that's static. It has to stay where it is. You can't move it around with you.
No, and that's one thing that I know a lot of people, I was one at one time as well, had a specific room just for working out because of all the equipment there. It took up time, it took up electricity, it took up my space, it took up, even time putting it together, and then the maintenance on top of that. So
yeah, you bring up a great point. Let's bring this up. So how many millions of Americans have bought something on QVC and it's under their bed still in the box? Me. We've all been here. And then you buy something that looks really cool, impulse buy, and then you got to put it together, or you got to get a handyman, or it takes you an hour to put it together. This, it's so simple. You pull it out of the box, quick instruction manuals. You can literally put it up together in about 30 seconds. You can take it down even less that, you put it back in its bag, or you can leave it on the wall if you like, and you can move it around. It's never stuck in any particular location. It's not going to end up under your bed, not being used. And it's so easy to get up and moving and start using immediately.
Okay, that's wonderful. That does sound great. Now I'm going to play the devil's advocate here a little bit. Now, with you being in the health industry, and there's a lot of other health manufacturers out there and exercise equipment manufacturers out there, have you had any words saying that, or comments of anybody from any other company that's been targeting your business on this about?
Good point. Not yet. I expect that. I want to give a shout out to one of our very first employees. We've got a great small group of people that are helping us launch this company as partners. Anthony Robinson, who is the first employee with a company called Therabody. Probably heard of that, right? The high-end guns. Yeah. So lucky enough to meet through Jen Romero, who's with us as well as one of our founding partners. We were able to meet Anthony, bring him on, and he, interesting enough, on a product understandability he had to a Therabody, which is a wonderful category and high-end products of therapy and recovery. I love the stuff myself. And Anthony brought him over from that. They had to take time for about 2 years to develop and educate the market why you would spend several $100s on a high-end massage gun. So one of the things that's been great about our product is people get it immediately. So we feel that we're super excited about this first drop that we're going to bring. The interest online in our pre-orders has been fantastic. And we don't want to overestimate, but we think there's a cool factor to it as well. Okay. When people, as I mentioned, handle the device, the workouts are fun, and you can kind of brand your own workout by creating exercises that you wouldn't be able to do on other apparatuses. So I have no doubt that we're going to be good people and good fellow competitors out there, but I anticipate there'll be some murmurs from other companies that we might be competing with soon.
Okay. Now, with developing a health or an exercise equipment, do you have to do anything with the FDA?
No, that's a good question, actually. No, obviously we've got to have the proper risk disclosures on how you're using it and so forth, which we do, and have all of those legalities in place. And as I mentioned earlier, it's really a safe device in that they thought many people have, oh, it's going to fly off the wall. Not only is it intensely secure once it's properly placed on the wall, if anything did happen where the person that was putting it all didn't attach it properly with the right suction cup pressure, that's part of the trigger that we have that indicates when the pressure is properly established right there. We do not have any issues along with the FDA. Obviously, we can't make claims that are not accurate, and we would never do that to begin with. But no, we're good on that level. It's a fitness device in that category. And going back to kind of related to what you're saying about the FDA, we are super excited. We've got meetings coming up with the VA of getting this exercise product out there to the masses of people that are not currently working out. Why? Again, I'll say it because of the universality of the product, and there's no excuse. You can't say, oh, I can't get to the gym, or I can't figure out how to use that. It's body resistance weight. You can put it anywhere and take it anywhere with you.
That's wonderful right there. Because I know a lot of the listeners out there,
yeah,
they have done this and they have seen the claims before, and they're leery about it. So it's good to have the knowledge straight from the person that actually invested in this and actually has been using this product from when you've seen it invented from your partner Todd.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that, and the honesty of this, and seeing some of the demos which you can see on the YouTube channel and also on the Burn 180 website. Where do you see this going? Where do you see this taking off to? Is this product actually going to be the end all be all product, or are you envisioning other things on top of that?
Yes.
That would accompany this?
All of the above. So we're already in development with several other add-on products that we're super excited about as we offer the second, third, fourth generation of the product. And then all the different components that we're working on right now. Specifically, we're working on a great component with the golf exercises that we're refining right now as we speak. So we're building a company around this. The parent company put together is Pro Fitness Concepts LLC, and we are anticipating being a company of products with the Burn 180 logo on that one. And listen, we've got a trip upcoming right now. One of our main investors in the company is one of the great physician, but Dr. Jim Lally. He and the inventor Todd Wittenbrook are headed to India, right? They're headed to next week because there's a great relationship that Dr. Lally has with a world-renowned athlete there by the name of Bindra, who's kind of the Michael Jordan of the country of India. He saw the product and thought it was amazing. So they're going on a tour of India to bring the product to that country as an innovative exercise device, again, going back to the universality of it. So, Matt, it's a great question there, what you mentioned there. I see it being unlimited as far as where this product can be taken and where it can be used. The suction cup technology, the universality, the mobility of it, being able to work out anywhere. I know we're repeating that, but it's really valued. It's really valued and part of the story. We're just super excited that we're going to see this all over the world.
Wow, you're going to go global with this. That's amazing. So with that, and well, one quick question that we kind of breezed over, and that's, I think we should dive a little bit deeper on. How important is our health towards us investing in ourselves, and actually with money? How is physical health and well-being with this product, or just in general, help us make better decisions when it comes to money and life decisions?
Well, boy, I could go a lot of different directions. That's a great question. So I'll give you my response to that as a fellow entrepreneur and investor with you. What happens when we feel better, when we feel physically better? We're more productive, more active, we're more connected with our loved ones. We feel better, we're more likely to give back to society, which is all I think we're kind of wired as humans to want to give back and to help other people. So if you're first taking care of yourself on a physical level, it also inevitably helps you. If you're feeling better, you're more productive as a person, as a business person, as someone that's looking over their finances. It's helping their family members and so forth. and staying active and creating, great blood flow, cardio work, and muscle tone, all those things lead, in my opinion, strong opinion, to a productive life. It's pretty rare, I think you'd agree with me, of finding someone that's really productive that's also not healthy, living a healthy lifestyle. There's certainly exceptions to that, but man alive, if you've got something like what we do with Burn 80 that is keeping you regularly connected to your fitness without invading your lifestyle and the fun activities like we're mentioning with summer travel, right?
Mhm.
There's no reason why you can't stay fit, and why do you need to come back on a trip? And I think one of you shows you had, which was great, the recovery time it's needed after you trip, right? Listen, if you're working out during your trip, you come back recharged from taking a little bit of a mental break from the work and the hectic elements of our lives by staying in shape during that time period. And to your point, it allows us to be more productive and feel better. And the chemistry involved in that when we're exercising, the endorphin release, the better blood flow. I mean, the stats are overwhelming on that, how important of a component that is for our lives.
Yes, that is. All those items definitely come together as one. And I've noticed once we get everything in alignment, the hardest part is starting the alignment process. And with this, there's absolutely no reason why it can't start, especially when you're in your own home doing this. So our show, I can't believe our show's pretty much over. We've already went through an hour worth of talking about this great device. You as an entrepreneur, your investments, how you actually use this device to better your life, your family's life, and bringing value to every woman, man, and child out there that needs help, whether it's from surgery recovery, our veterans, kids, stay-at-home parents and stay-at-home moms, and people that work from home. It's amazing. So with that in mind, how can we get in touch with you, and how can we learn more about this product, and where can we get this product?
Oh, you got it. Thank you, by the way, for having me on the show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So good on you with a great show. Burn180.com, burn180.com, BURN180.com. You can find everything about the product online on our site. Also, great source. Follow us on Instagram. We're posting on that probably multiple times a day, and we're super excited. The athletes that are posting on our site there, on our Instagram, and we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, all of the above there through social media. But the first stop is burn180.com. And if people want to email me directly, bring it on. dmarkel@burn180.com. So it's D as in Dan, my last name, MARKEL @burn180.com. I'm pretty good about responding to people. So reach out to us. And we are super excited as we are right on top of our first drop, right? Wow. To the world, 5,000 units. Pre-orders right now, but if people want to go on and sign up, put your email in. We are going to have product available in the next several business days. It's been patiently ready to go, and we could not be more excited to launch this and get this out in the hands of the first 5,000 users.
That's impressive, and definitely thank you for your time today, Dan. That's everyone. That's our show for today. We've talked about health, fitness, this great company, Burn 180. We've talked about how exercising makes us clearer minded and brings everything into focus for when we make our life decisions. But next week's show is actually going to be quite different, because we're going to be instead of us bringing the decisions to the world, we're going to have things delivered to us, and it's going to be the new way of delivery. And with my guest next week, it's going to be one you don't want to miss. So tune in next week to the Making More Money for You show here on Business America, our Voice America Business. And have a great week, and get outside and enjoy this awesome weather. It is definitely beautiful outside.
Thanks, Magnus.
All right, we're all clear. Great show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.